Good morning, everybody. Today is a new day, and of course, we bring you a new story. Today's emotion anger. The name of the story The Silent Storm. In the heart of Bangaluru's tech hub, Anya and Karthik were the quintessential urban couple. They had met at a startup event where Karthik, a software developer, was presenting his groundbreaking app idea. Anya, a marketing strategist with sharp wit and infectious smile, had challenged his pitch during the Q&A. The fiery exchange had sparked connection, and soon the casual coffee meetings turned into late-night phone calls, shared dreams, and eventually love. For the first 2 years, the relationship was a picture of compatibility. Anya brought creativity and spontaneity to Karthik's methodological world, while he grounded her with his calm and measured approach. However, as time passed, cracks began to appear, not in their love, but in the way they dealt with conflicts. Karthik's temper was like a fuse, short and quick to ignite, but easily extinguished. Anya, on the other hand, had a silent anger that simmered beneath the surface, building up until it erupted. Their differences in handling anger started to strain their relationship. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day at work, Karthik came home to find Anya engrossed in her laptop, working on a campaign. He had been looking forward to unwinding her over dinner, but her distracted responses triggered his frustration. "Do you even care that I'm here?" Karthik snapped, throwing his bag onto the couch. Anya looked. "What's your problem, Karthik? I'm working on a deadline. Can't you see I'm busy?" "It is always about work," he shot back. "I'm tired of feeling like I'm competing with your laptop for attention." Anya closed her laptop with a thud. "And I'm tired of you expecting me to drop everything for you. Can't you be a little more understanding?" The argument spiraled, each accusation fueling with the other's anger. By the night, Karthik stormed out. Anya, tears streaming down her face, buried herself in work. Days turned into weeks. Though they reconciled after their fights, the pattern continued. Each argument left behind unspoken words and unresolved feelings. Anya's silent resentment grew, while Karthik's quick temper flared more frequently. One Saturday morning, the storm brewing between them had reached its peak. Karthik had planned a surprise getaway to Coorg for the weekend, hoping to reignite the spark in their relationship. When he shared the plan with Anya, she hesitated. "I can't just drop everything and go, Karthik. I have a client presentation on Monday," she said. Karthik's face fell. "Of course, your work comes first. Why am I even surprised?" "Don't make this about me," Anya retorted. "You didn't even ask if I was free. You just assumed I'd go along with your plan." "I was trying to do something nice for us," Karthik yelled. "But clearly, I'm the one who cares about this relationship." Anya's voice, usually calm, rose to match it. "How you think I don't care? I have sacrificed so much for us. But you are too blinded by the ego to see it." The fight escalated until Anya, unable to hold back any longer, said, "Maybe we are not just meant for each other." Her words hung in the air like a thunderclap. Karthik stared at her, his anger replaced by disbelief and hurt. Without another word, he grabbed his keys and left. That evening, as Anya sat alone in their apartment, the weight of her words sank in. She didn't mean it. She loved Karthik deeply, but her anger had clouded her judgment. She opened her phone to call him but hesitated. Would he even want to hear from her? Meanwhile, Karthik drove aimlessly around the city, his mind racing. Anya's word had stung, but deep down he knew he was just as much to blame. His inability to control his temper and his constant need for validation had pushed her away. After hours of introspection, he found himself parked outside Coburn Park, a place they often visited during the early days of relationship. The memories of their laughter and shared dreams filled them with a longing to make things right. Next morning, Karthik returned to the apartment. Anya, who had barely slept, looked up as he entered. They stood in silence for a moment, the tension between them palpable. "I am sorry," Karthik said, his voice breaking. "I shouldn't have yelled. I shouldn't have expected you to prioritize me over your work." Anya's eyes filled with tears. "I am sorry too. I didn't mean what I said. I let my anger get the better of me, and I hurt you." They sat down and talked, really talked, for the first time in 2 months. They acknowledged their patterns of anger and how it had created a chasm between them. They agreed to seek help, not because their love was failing, but because they wanted to learn how to fight without hurting each other. Over the next few weeks, they attended couples therapy. They learned to recognize their triggers and communicate their feelings before they spiraled into anger. Karthik began practicing mindfulness to manage his temper. Anya learned to voice her concerns instead of letting them fester. One evening, as they walked hand in hand through Coburn Park, Karthik turned to Anya. "You know, I think our fights taught me something important." "What's that?" She looked at him curiously. "That love isn't about fighting. It's about fighting for each other, even when it's hard," he said, squeezing her hand. Anya smiled, her heart swelling with affection and learning to let go of anger, so it doesn't overshadow what truly matters. From that day on, their love was no longer a silent storm, but a steady, nurturing rain that held and healed and strengthened their bond. In love, anger is inevitable, but how do we handle it defines the strength of the relationship. Open communication, understanding, and forgiveness can turn moments of conflict into opportunities for growth. Thank you for hearing us. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a great